I'm outside Runnymede Healthcare, where one family is furious over the treatment of their 87-year-old grandmother. They say she has called this her home for the last 3 years, so they can't understand why she was locked out earlier this week and left outside waiting in a stretcher for hours.
This is her home. It doesn't matter what you think. This is not your opinion.
We did not in our wildest dreams think that they would actually lock us out. They let everyone else in. They were walking people through the back door. So it was just, we felt so disrespected, almost like an animal shouldn't even be treated the way that they were treating us, not even acknowledging our presence.
What you're doing is unacceptable.
This was the scene 87-year-old Florinda Pacheco and her family arrived to Tuesday night outside Runnymede Healthcare. Amanda Estrada says her grandmother suffers from diabetes and Alzheimer's and has been living at the center for more than 3 years. Monday night, she was sent to St. Joseph's Hospital due to a bout of pneumonia.
On our way back to Runnymede, when my mom and my aunt were on their way back, they got a phone call from the CEO saying that her bed had been given up. We were already in the ambulance on the way there. By the time we got there, the doors had been shut. The doors are never closed unless there is an emergency, which there wasn't. They refused to let any of us in. They didn't even acknowledge us. When we asked them what the reason for the bed being given up was, they just simply said there was no bed for them. We didn't get a response. We got no discharge papers letting us know that she would be discharged into St. Joseph's Care or home care. My grandmother doesn't have a home. She's been in Runnymede for 3.5 years.
Estrada says her grandmother had only been gone for one night, and St. Joseph's outpatient documents listed her home address as Runnymede Healthcare. That's why she was shocked when she was refused entry.
Is it typical for the doors to be locked to ensure that a patient doesn't return if they are not eligible?
Again, I can't speak to the specifics of this case because of privacy reasons.
Runnymede would only say that as a complex care center, only patients who fall within the critical care category are guaranteed a spot if they are discharged for any reason.
When a patient's medical status change and they need to go and they have an acute care admission, what we do to ensure the system flow of patients, we release the bed and give priority for the patient to come back if they need meet the program criteria.
So would they be informed when they're leaving that they may not have a bed to come back to?
So I can't speak to, again, the specifics of this patient case. However, we work very closely with our patients and our families in terms of informing them about what the program criteria is about at the hospital and what discharge into the community looks like.
But Estrada says her family was never informed that her grandmother's bed would be given up and that she'd been sent to the hospital in the past and returned with no issue. They spent 4 hours Tuesday night camped out outside Runnymede before finally returning to St. Joseph's.
After over 12 hours of waiting at St. Joseph's Hospital, we were finally offered an alternative home, which was triple the price, and we could not afford it as it is on my grandmother's on a CPP.
Estrada says her grandmother's pension was paying for her stay at Runnymede Healthcare. About a year ago, she says staff asked the family to find a more permanent accommodation, such as a nursing home.
You know, we always talk about, you've probably heard about, you know, the right patient at the right place with the right level of care. So this isn't, in general, this isn't somebody's home.
Estrada says her grandmother is on the waiting list for a nursing home, and while she understands the need to free up space here, her biggest issue was with the way the situation was dealt with.
They did tell me they felt that they were treated very poorly. Is there anything that you want to say in response to that?
Runnymede Healthcare Center, we are an award-winning hospital. We are completely, absolutely committed to high patient-centered care, quality care. And if there is a concern with a family member, we do have a process that we follow through in terms of addressing it.
And the family eventually took their grandmother to Trillium Hospital in Mississauga. She is still there tonight waiting to find a more permanent situation.